Yo, what's going on, guys? Will here from Sky Ultimate, and welcome back to another episode of Journey to the UFA. And today I'm doing sprint training. I honestly wasn't going to do anything today, but then I looked at the weather and it's supposed to snow later. Well, it is snowing now as I'm recording this, and tomorrow is also just supposed to be crappy as well, so figured I might as well just get out there and do some sprints. So I'll go through how I do my sprint training. It's, I think, a really good way to approach sprint training. But for now, just doing a jog, doing some skips, dancing a little bit, and then we get into the workout. So the way I like to approach my sprint training is by doing usually between 6 to 10 reps of about 20 to 40 meter full out efforts with plenty of rest in between. And in order to add a little bit of spice to it and also work on some other important stuff, I usually like to also set up my sprint with some kind of in-game footwork pattern, usually something that would involve me setting up or going for a deep cut. So as you can see, I start by just kind of walking through the pattern that I'm going to do. So in this one, I'm kind of like coming out of the stack or coming off of some break side area, stepping out into a lane, kind of isolating my defender, going for a nice little jab step. So I practice this from both sides, just walking through it at first, and then obviously I do it at full speed. So I kind of hit that jab step under, try to turn the shoulders a little bit to maybe sell the undercut, and then turn hard, obviously plant with that back leg, and then turn it into a proper deep cut. One thing that's really nice about practicing these game realistic footwork patterns is because it really allows you to kind of imagine the ways in which you're going to set up this deep cut, because I do quite a bit of sprint training, and so I'm kind of able to just mix it up every time I go out there, just picking some different kind of footwork pattern. And over time, I've been able to kind of develop a couple different moves that I can use based on where my defender's positioned and stuff like that. And I found that one really, really useful tool is being able to start with some forward momentum, like going right at your defender, kind of attacking them directly, making them either start backing up or commit their hips one way or the other, and then kind of taking advantage of that and going the other way. So even though sometimes the sprint is not completely straight, you can see me kind of straying off to one side or the other. It usually will be fine, because even if I'm losing a little bit of speed by, maybe setting up the cut by going like sideways a little too aggressively, it usually will throw the defender off pretty well and kind of allow you to get a little more separation. One of the things that I kind of learned while I was doing this particular workout, you could see me in my walkthroughs kind of practicing more of a harder plant and like kind of jab step. And then in some of the later ones, I practice a little bit more of like a split step or like a jump cut kind of thing. Not really a full jump cut, but like where my footwork is a lot more sudden rather than taking like one big step under and then going deep. It's kind of more like a smaller step, and it's like a little quicker and then going deep. And I think having the quicker footwork really adds to it, because you kind of making that decision point a little shorter in your cut. You're not like trying to sell some huge move. You're just kind of going, boom, you make your move and you're gone. You're not really staying there for too long. And I think it allowed me to kind of accelerate a little faster rather than like trying to get super low and commit my weight all the way on one foot and then have to transfer it back. So that was one thing I was playing around with in this workout. Anyways, that's about it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.